gonna get wet. I told you. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, take it off.
Run it. Actually, no. Come back. Run it back. One more time. Run it back.
I'm a casual.
Only the songs that are like on my playlist. Like,
Are you ready? Yeah.
Run it back.
Cool.
On my playlist. So. Hi and welcome back to the Nakama podcast. So this week or this time, everyone introduced themselves again, basically. So it's Darius.
Hi, it's Joey. Good to be back.
It's Joe.
So we're gonna be talking about our own anime like backstories and like origins. So he wants to go first. So how did everyone start watching anime?
Well, for me, I started watching anime through my cousins. So I would go and chill at my cousin's house because I'm an only child. So I'd go hang out with them. My mum dropped me off like before she went to work. Whether it was like weekends or like trips abroad, and they were just watching anime. So obviously I naturally gravitated towards what they were watching. Mainly Dragon Ball Z. So that was what I would watch, which is obviously what most people have watched growing up. And then three of them, the oldest one, he was into anime the most. So he had like loads of like manga books. So like Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, and like Full Metal Alchemist and Claymore. So he had some of those mangas like from early, like talking about like early 2000s, way before. Like,
did you open up and look at the Claymore?
Nah, I think I looked at one chapter and I was like, yo, this stuff is dark. I'm gonna have to wait a few years. Which is literally what's happened because I only just read Claymore like maybe like a few months ago, like from start to finish. So yeah, that was like one of the things. That's how I basically got into it. Like I'd play video games with them as well. And like play like Dragon Ball Z on the GameCube, Sonic as well on the GameCube. And then I knew what it was, so I started gravitating to it on my own, playing games like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, basically standard like Japanese RPGs on consoles. So, and I just took it from there. Like obviously watching anime on TV, that was the main media source that I found anime from. Mainly Toonami, as most people probably know if you watch anime from early. First shows I probably saw were like Rave Master.
Was that on Toonami?
Yeah, it was on Toonami.
I don't remember that being on Toonami.
So like it was interesting because Toonami obviously, I think they just picked and choose certain anime. So it was Rave Master, and then they switched out Rave Master for One Piece, and it was quite interesting since they're both made by the same person. So. That was cool, and then I think eventually it was also Fox Kids.
Yeah.
Fox Kids had Shaman King.
Yeah.
And then they brought Naruto on Fox Kids, and I think Shaman King and Naruto were like the first two shows that I properly watched from start to finish. So
you would say like your cousins were the big influence?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, pretty similar. So my younger brother, so initially he would be watching a lot of anime. So in the background, if I was bored, I would just watch a little bit in the background, see clips. And then similar to what Joel was saying with video games, I remember Dragon Ball Z PS2. So I would play that game a lot, and then I would just watch clips on YouTube of that. And then in terms of, but I would say that, yeah, at that period it was just clips and stuff. So in terms of me watching my full anime from start to finish, was around, I'll say, One Piece. So I took the decision, you know what, start to finish, I'll watch a full anime, like, without just watching clips. So I'll say from there, then I took it from there to watch other animes. So yeah, I'll say basically for my little brother. Yeah.
So which one do you first remember watching then? Was it One Piece?
Okay, so I remember watching a few episodes of Naruto and then Bleach, but like random episodes. I knew the plot for both. And then in terms of start to finish, what I understood of One Piece. That was like almost 10 years ago. Yeah, long time. Yeah, to One Piece. Yeah.
So what was your What one was Rave
Yeah,
Master?
Rave Master. The thing is, it was Rave Master first, but like I was switching between Toonami and Fox Kids.
Okay.
So I think it was on Fox Kids. I can't remember if it was Fox Kids or not, but I think Fox Kids had Beyblade as well.
Yeah, I remember
So-
Blade. I remember
so
Blade.
Beyblade was
I remember
kind of
Blade.
like yeah, Beyblades. But then I take that back because I think it was Nickelodeon. Was it Nickelodeon that had Yu-Gi-Oh?
Nickelodeon had Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh.
I can't remember.
I don't remember them.
I can't remember which channel it was on. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
No,
But
I remember you guys.
yeah, it was Rave Master, Yu-Gi-Oh,
I don't remember Rave Master being on, you know.
Beyblade, and I guess you could say Pokemon and Digimon.
Mm.
But like that's the thing. Like, yeah, they all classify as anime. So,
You always forget
so,
that,
like, yeah, those ones are like the main four
That you remember
like,
watching.
that I remember. But like in terms of like, cause the others they play more like a cartoon than like a anime,
Yeah.
even though they are anime.
Mm.
Yeah, and then Rave Master obviously was the first like proper
And
anime that I watched, and obviously I kind of just knew what it was because the art styles were all similar.
Mm.
Yeah, I even have evidence of like a Beyblade lunchbox and Goku action figure. So if anyone tries to come for me that says that I haven't watched anime, I've been watching it since day one. I have the receipts. So
See, my one was weird because it's like I remember watching. For some reason, I don't know. It's like a vague memory. I was watching like Dragon Ball when Goku was like a kid when at my grandma's house for some reason. I remember that being on, and then like I remember watching Dragon Ball Z. I remember being on Toonami. I can't remember. I think I was like in must have been like year 2 or year 3, because I remember every Friday. It must have been year 3 or year 4. I don't know. It's around that time. But like I remember every Friday on Toonami will come on, and then that's the late night I could stay up late. So my dad would watch it with me, like because like that's the day I get to stay up late, and I remember watching it. And then for some weird like I have another memory of like when I went to a Catholic primary school, like the older years would walk with us, and I remember all of us talking about Dragon Ball Z, waiting to go to the church, like across the road from the church, us talking about like Dragon Ball Z and everything, and I feel like my sister, like it's weird. My sister used to watch it, but I don't. My sister says she used to watch it, but I don't remember her watching it. But it's like she said, "Oh yeah, she's the reason why I got into animes because you used to watching it and everything like that." And then, do you remember the Digimon film?
vaguely, yeah.
Like the first one. I remember. I remember banging out watching that film so many times. I used to love. That's one of my favorite. Like, I think that's one of my favorite childhood memories because I remember I used to watch it a lot of times. I used to love it.
Yeah, for me it was the Pokemon movies, because my cousins had like all the Pokemon games and like the cards as well.
Mm.
So like I just was like the Mewtwo movie, and like Ash getting turned into stone. And
I
stuff
kind of
like
remember
that.
that.
So yeah, same sort of things.
So I guess the first anime I remember watching is probably like Dragon Ball Z and Digimon. I remember watching Pokemon. I remember because there was different variations of Pokemon. Because I remember because there was the Ash one, and then I can't remember like what's the guy's name? Do you know the one? I forgot his name. I just remember Ash. Do you know the one he had the rock Pokemon?
I know, does he have red spiky hair?
Yeah.
I know who you mean. I can't remember.
I can't remember, and I feel like he had like a spin-off or something for. I don't know if I'm like imagining this, but I feel like he had a spin-off, and I remember watching that. Yeah, so it's like Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, and what did I say? Pokemon are the ones I remember, like first remember watching. So I guess they like hold a special place in my heart. But yeah. Do you know what's funny about the Toonami thing is that it's we had Rave Master, but I don't remember seeing it. Is that in America they had so many different they had like Cowboy Bebop on Toonami for time, and like I think I remember watching something and they said that they were like every year it would like come on.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they have different. I don't know why they should have the same shows on both.
I think it's probably just like, I don't know if it's like politically correct, but maybe just like licensing and stuff like all different countries. I think America just got lucky in terms of having the most shows available.
I would have loved to have
them.
watched
Yeah.
it. Actually, I wouldn't have watched it then, but it's like just the fact that we had Cowboy Bebop would have been
on
cool.
TV,
It would have been cool.
Probably would have been more engaged.
Yeah.
Watching it then. Obviously, it's different when you watch it at one age than you watch it like
No.
That's
from
the
an
thing.
older perspective because you see things slightly differently.
Yeah,
Like
you understand it more.
exactly. Yeah.
Do you guys feel like that the internet plays a bigger role in how you watch anime now, considering we used to watch it on TV and everything?
For me personally, somewhat in terms of like if a show is really good and I haven't heard of it before, then I would check it out. Or if it comes, or because of the algorithms, the way algorithms work,
Yeah.
if it keeps coming up on my feed and I keep watching the videos because it just comes up, then I'll be like, okay, now I need to watch this because that's what happened with for me for a few shows. Like, definitely, Hunter x Hunter. That was like one show. Like, I knew I had to watch it, but I just took time, like
To watch it.
yeah, to watch it. Like, I didn't like gravitate towards it, but like it had been like kept getting recommended to me. I was watching some of the fights, like Gon versus Soka, and I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just watch this thing because I don't have any new shows that are coming up. So
That's one of the first shows I started, like, I've watched start to finish.
yeah,
Because when I started watching, like, I remember, I didn't start watching anime again until, like, year 10, but that was because, like, I just wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z. So, because that was on, what's that channel called? Is it Kicks?
yeah, Kicks.
Oh yeah, Kicks. Yeah.
I think it was on Kicks. It was like, they were
Dragon Ball Z
showing,
Kai,
yeah,
Kicks,
Kai.
yeah.
So they were showing all of that, and I was like, oh, I love Dragon Ball Z. I want to watch it. So I remember, like, in year 10, watching it on my dad's laptop, like, binging it. Then I rewatched, like, I watched it. Then, like, 2 months later, I watched the Boo Saga again. I was like, and then my dad, I don't know why he done it. It was like, yeah, well, you need to stop watching Dragon Ball Z on my laptop. I was like, okay. Yeah. But, like, for me, it's like, it depends. It's yeah, I guess it is. It's more like the algorithm. With me, it's not like the algorithm showing me clips of anime. It's like, 5 animes if you like this type thing. And then if I've seen an anime of this anime similar to that, I'm like, I search it up, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I might like that, and then I pull it on my watch list to watch. But that watch list is like too big right now. I got so much to go through. What about you, Joey?
In terms of the internet,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'll say similar to what Joe was saying with the algorithms. So if you're watching a particular anime, so especially with like the shonen animes, so obviously I knew about Naruto and Bleach. And then obviously based on recommendations, people say One Piece is similar, so I took it from there. Then yes, with Hunter x Hunter. So animes like that, I'll say through the internet inspired me to watch the others that are similar.
Do you know? I think what does it the most for me is like anime websites, or like the live chart one.
Mhm.
So like every season I flick through to see I read the description, then I'm like, oh yeah, I might like that. Then I watch the trailer, then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like it. Rather than, because it's like, I'm trying to think, with Bocce the Rock, I know people started watching that after everyone, people started saying it was good. Because I remember like looking on live chat and live chart, and then looking at it, and I was like, oh yeah, I might like that. So it's rather, I think it's, for me, it's the in-between of the algorithm and me going on that website and reading the description and whether I like the description. So I guess both are still internet playing a big role
Yeah.
on it.
At least you get that like correlation. Like, okay, 2 places, like different sources of information, and I confirm that this show is gas. So let me check it out and see what I think of the show. You know.
I think the biggest one for me is probably Demon Slayer. That's because I think, were we in 3rd year of uni?
I think we were in 2nd year.
Yeah, because I remember that coming out,
Yeah.
and then I was like,
It was 2018, so yeah, 2nd year.
what's the hype about? I just saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
Then I watched it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I somewhat understand it.
Yeah, I'd been seeing it on my Instagram, For You page, or explore page in the summer and like autumn, but then I didn't. But I was just like, at first the animation just kind of put me off because it was obviously 3D, and that was like the first time like people were seeing this type of like animation with the breathing techniques. So like I first was like, whatever. But then I can't remember who told me. I think it was you or someone else told me, yeah, to check out Demon Slayer. So I think in the beginning of 2018, guys, I just thought, yeah, let me check this out, and I just binged it. Like I caught up like just as the show was ending.
Here's a quick, like, I think that's the first time people actually accepted 3D animation, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like the first time because normally we're just like, what the hell is this?
But it's a weird 3D
Yeah.
animation. It's like, I don't. It's clean.
Yeah, it's because it's ufotable. So that's the only reason that.
But did they do that with
With Fate,
Did they?
Fate
Is it
series.
is it 3D?
Not like Demon Slayers. It's not. It's slightly different, but you can. Ufotable still have they have like a signature style, so you can't really miss it. When you watch both of them, you'll see like, okay, a lot of the stuff they do is like it's like very realistic set designs and stuff.
Yeah, it's very because I didn't finish the episode, but the first episode of the Swordsmith arc.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know when they're going through, what is it, the Infinite Castle?
Mm-hmm.
So they're showing the Infinite
Yes,
Castle and it's
yeah.
everything. It's it's mind it's mind blowing how it's
yeah.
like sick it is, like
Yeah.
how detailed the 3D animation
Yeah.
is. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's not. It's like, I understand why people think it's nice and cool, but you can tell it's 3D, and I don't know why I don't really. It's not necessarily I don't like it. I appreciate it, but it's not what I like in the animation
Everyone
style.
has their own preference in terms of like how they want
The animation to be.
animation to look like. So
What was I gonna say? So, which from like the animes you guys are like, how you guys started watching anime? What do you think was like the first anime that like impacted you guys the most?
I'd definitely say, I'd probably say Rave Master, just because of like the story and like the fact that it had like a cool story, and like you could tell that there was gonna be more, even when they cut it or cancelled it after like the first 20 episodes. On Toonami.
Oh,
they,
because
they then did like a few episodes and then they cancelled it, and it probably wasn't popular, so they cancelled it and changed it to One Piece. So because even the anime only goes up to I think like 56 episodes. It's not a full anime, which is annoying. I think they should do a remake of that, but that's not up to me. Because the lore of like Rave Master is it's in the same world as like Fairy Tail, so they're in the same universe, and they even have a spin-off episode together.
Is it literally? Is it in the same world?
Yeah, same universe. Cause
seriously?
Yeah, because
I know it's done by the same guy.
yeah, it's done the same guy. Yeah,
I never knew it was in the same world.
yeah.
Is it the same magic and everything?
No, it's slightly different. With Rave Master, it's more so like some people have special abilities. Like there's literally another dragon character in Rave Master, who I think he turns part dragon. I can't remember exactly, but the format is kind of similar with the main character, Haru, having a sidekick female character called Ellie, and
His female characters always look the same.
Yeah, their designs are
So, like,
slightly similar.
because Eden Zero, Lucy looks like the girl in Eden
the
Zero.
thing is, Eden Zero is like a complete blatant rip of Fairy Tail.
Seriously?
Yeah, whereas at least with Rave Master and Fairy Tail, there's some distinction, and the abilities are slightly different, so it's okay. And like with Fairy Tail, they took a lot of inspiration from the Rave Master characters. So
Grey looks like the guy with the blue hair.
yeah, so Grey is very similar to Grey is very similar to a character called, I can't remember his name, but he's a swordsmith, and he has black hair, and they have similar abilities because Grey makes stuff from ice, and this blacksmith, he makes weapons out of silver. He has a silver necklace that can change shape, and like he can make things, weapons with that. And then Jalal from Fairy Tail is literally a rip from another character in Rave Master, whose name I've also forgotten, but they're literally the exact same character, like the same blue hair and everything. And then Erza's moves and powers are taken from the main character of Rave Master, like
the swords.
the swords like changing, except that with Haru, his whole outfit doesn't change. It's just he changes swords. He has 10 swords that he changes with different pendants, whereas Erza's her whole armor changes. Yeah, so it's pretty like cool that they take inspiration from
That.
each other.
But he didn't finish Fairy Tail, did you though?
I finished up to the last season.
Oh, no.
Then I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, I just stopped watching it. I don't know why. I can't remember why I didn't.
Similar to me, yeah.
That's good.
The first 10 episodes.
But then I found out like the ending was the power of friendship thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch it. But did you carry on watch? Did you finish watching Fairy Tail?
Yeah, I finished it, but then after it finished, I didn't continue because there's obviously the 100-year quest.
Why did they do?
I don't know why they bothered, but
So he's writing Eden Zero and the 100-year quest right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Me, I just wanted to see how it ends for the sake of the fact that I'd been watching it for so long.
Yeah, you might as well finish it,
Yeah.
Because it's Zeref and what's the first master's name? I forgot her
I
name.
forgot her name as well.
But did they get reincarnated or they lose their memory or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. The whole thing is just, but anyway, it's not about Fairy Tail. Yeah, with Ravens, the only reason why I said I was into it is because like, the fact that they have like a whole grand story from the outset from the beginning, so you know there's gonna be like a big adventure, and the fact that like, Haru's sword is inherited, from like the previous Rave Master, and the Raves are like the sword pendants that you put into this one sword, and the sword changes form.
Oh,
So there's 10 pendants that he has to collect, and so as the story like progresses, you see him collect the different pendants and how he uses different swords because they all have different abilities, which is pretty cool. But obviously, then we don't get to see because the anime only ends like to a certain point. So you only get to see him use I think 4 or 5 of the Rave stones out of the 10. But it's a pretty cool story regardless.
What about you, Joey? What's the first anime that had like a big impact on you?
I would say, I would definitely say Bleach initially, because like I said, that was like one of the first animes that I kind of knew the plot of. Even though I didn't watch it all until later on. Just like the whole plot and just like the spiritual, the social society, I just found it interesting. And then how like there's the physical world, and then there's a whole different element with the soul society and just the different fights.
Do you know what's always confused me about the Soul Society is that, do you know people are born in the Soul Society? I thought they were always dead people.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's true.
So that's always baffled. Sorry, I always thought that was always baffled me.
And then just his storyline, especially for Ichigo, I found that interesting. And then, so I said that was the first one that hooked me in, which made me want to watch like Naruto and One Piece. Yeah.
See, mine's on weird. I don't know. It's either Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. Because, I don't know, it's like like, the reason why I started watching anime really and truly is not for story, it's just to watch people fight. So, it's like, watching Dragon Ball Z and literally, like, I remember, like, when it was on like, I just wanted to be a Super Saiyan. So you're just like begging, like, as a kid. And you just want to try and be a Super Saiyan or whatever. So I guess that is like literally, it's that, and then like certain scenes, like when Goku first turned Super Saiyan, and then the Cell Saga is like a heartfelt saga. Like I just love Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2. That's one of the best scenes in anime altogether. Him turning Super Saiyan 2. I just loved like him like turning Super Saiyan 2 and then Soul just getting like beat up differently. No, but I think that's what, because I remember reading somewhere or like watching something, he was gonna change the main character into Gohan, and then because no one he felt like people weren't gonna like it or something like that, he wasn't gonna. That's why Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 first, and then that's when Goku turned back into the main character. So yeah, it's either that or Naruto. Naruto is just because I think that's my first anime that I watched like apart from Dragon Ball Z, when I actually got into properly watching anime. It's Naruto. So I love Naruto. Like, it was probably my first favorite anime. I just loved everything about it. Like the Nine Tails, there's a storyline of everything.
Yes,
everything.
I definitely say like with Naruto, Even though some of the episodes were long, some of them are short, and like there's filler in between. I say the good thing about it is like you have like the natural progression of the story, like with each story arc, and like it kind of just pulls you in like after like the first few, first two arcs, like you begin to get into the story. So I think Naruto is really good at like the storytelling, which is what I kind of like found myself getting into with anime, like that tell like good stories. So like obviously at first like I was watching Naruto for the action and the fight, and then like as you get like as the more you get into like Naruto, like as the story progresses, and you're like, oh actually this story goes hard. Like let me keep watching it. Like so when Jetix like cut it at like season 5, like just when it was getting into like the more like serious stuff, like with the Sasuke retrieval arc, that's when I was like, yo, let me go and find the rest of this anime because it's not on TV anymore. So that's when I knew like I was properly into it. The fact that I was searching for it off
that was the channel
TV.
Jetix.
Because Jetix had that, didn't it? It had something else as well. I can't remember what else it had.
They had Naruto, they had Shaman King, and they had a few others. With Shaman King, they showed the whole anime. It was just that the anime deviated from the manga.
Actually, how did you start watching anime, Ash?
From my cousins putting me onto Dragon Ball when I was super young.
Same for me.
Yeah. I was like, I want to say around like 4 or 5 years old. Obviously, I go around to their house all the time. We'll play the video games. And then they put it on TV one time. I was like, oh, shit, it's a show as well. And they were just like, yeah, it came from the show. I was just like, oh, cool. And so from then, I was just tapped in. Okay. I think that's probably,
So you would say they're like your like first influences in like watching anime?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it was like that, and then, stuff that would probably be considered cartoons, but like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade and stuff like that, which all just like went down
that route. Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, so you would say like, was it on Toonami or something like that?
Yeah.
So Toonami played like a huge role in like everyone watching anime. Okay, and then today, would you say that like the internet plays a major role in how you watch anime?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that I'll go like looking for recommendations online, but like just through scrolling through social media, I'll end up discovering a bunch of stuff that I just didn't even know existed. And especially because it's like, if you start following a few accounts and stuff, you're just like, oh, this guy's got a similar taste to me, or, oh yeah, this guy likes this, which is similar to mine. So then you start to realize like, oh, okay, I'm taking this guy's advice, or I'm taking this guy's advice, and just build it up over time. So yeah, for sure, the internet definitely makes an impact.
All right, so what would you say was like the first anime that had a big impact on you?
Ooh, that's a big one. Do you know what it is? I think I have to say Dragon Ball, because I actually ended up training martial arts, and I think that just got ingrained in me from a kid, innit? From watching that, I always just used to think that was so cool. And
to fight someone.
Yeah, word. And so when I started like finding out that they were doing like classes and stuff around the area when I was a kid, I was just like, oh yeah, like sign me up type deal. And I think that's where that really came from originally.
Okay. So now, with like everyone saying like the first anime that has had a big impact on you, so what would you say now, watching like being like older and watching animes now, what would be the anime that had like the biggest impact on you?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm gonna wait to answer this one because I feel like mine's a bit controversial with it. I feel like you already know what it is. Oh, maybe not then, based on your reaction.
Devilman Crybaby?
Nah.
Oh, Demon Slayer?
Nah. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'll stop guessing that.
You know what? You might as well have a third guess, innit?
I can't think of another one.
Oh,
I was going to leave it.
All right.
Now, I'd probably say Naruto.
Oh, okay.
Still, just because of like, I was watching it obviously from young, so like watching it progress as I got older and like growing up with the characters, like and seeing it end. That was when I knew like, oh, okay, we're going on this like long journey, and like it's like for me, obviously forget Boruto to the side. Like that's his own thing, as he said, that's his own story. But with Naruto, like I can happily say, okay, that's one anime that's like fully completed, like and put to the side and like done, like both anime and manga. So like I'd say Naruto.
What about you, Ray?
I would say One Piece.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was younger, like you know how you always saying about you just watch for the fights.
Mm.
So obviously now that I've gotten older, I appreciate like the character developments, each individual's trajectory, where they're gonna go. So I appreciate that more. So I've experienced both sides of the coin. So I'll say with One Piece, obviously it's still ongoing, but I feel like that's the one anime I'm looking forward to the end because it's been such a journey since.
Can't wait till that end.
Yeah. So.
Alright, for me, sorry, One Piece or Cowboy Bebop. Just cause One Piece, I just loved just watching it and the journey that Luffy went on and like the friends he's gained, and like just him as a like he's not the most like in-depth character in that sense, but it's just like the little morals he has and like the little things he does. It's like he has a big impact on you and like everyone in general. And with Cowboy Bebop, I just love the show and like the different like themes it has and whatever. Like plug. You watched the video on the channel. Just the different themes it had, the different things it dealt with. Like as an adult now, like looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, people may experience certain things and like but it's how they deal with it and how like it gives you like life lessons on how to deal with it and how you can deal with it. And yeah, probably that one. And it's not necessarily an impact, but Devilman Crybaby like made me rethink life. Like it fucked me up. like especially the last scene when like it's like God recreates the whole world and now there's two moons. I just fucked my brain up. Yeah, I guess that's it. What about you?
So I guess similar sort of reasoning to what you were saying, but mine is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I knew you'd kick yourself. I knew you'd kick yourself as soon as I said it, right? But yeah, I feel like the first time I tried to watch it, it's not so much that I didn't get it. I think it was like, it didn't really sink in. I watched the first like, I want to say like 3-4 episodes to begin with. And at the time I watched it at first, it just didn't really sink in with me. But I watched it a little bit later on in life and like hooked. Like I could not put it down. Like just that next episode button, the second it popped up, like every time. And yeah, like as you were saying, I think similar reasoning, like just a bunch of stuff you go through in life is, you know, not necessarily directly there, but, you know, as you guys know, a lot of it is all like metaphors for other things and stuff like that. So, you know, I feel like I saw elements of my life or elements of parts of my life reflected in certain things. And so, you know, I'm now at a point where I think like, yeah, that's definitely like now had a much bigger impact than the stuff I was watching when I was younger, for example.
How old were you when you first watched it?
16.
Do you think that played a part then? Because it is like, even now, I feel like I'll miss loads of things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because my friend had told me about it when I was in sixth form. So yeah, it definitely was 16. Yeah, so my friend had told me about it and I tried it out. I was like, yeah, you know what? I get it, but it's like, it just wasn't really resonating. And then when I revisited it later in life, it was just like, oh, like, how did I not like just delve into this? But yeah.
So, like, I'll say for me, I feel like the way I watch anime now has changed compared to like where I watched it at the beginning. So do you guys feel the same, or is it like not really? Because like I could watch a series. I remember I sat down after like the last day of like first year of college and watched One Punch Man. Not first year of college, because Willemy told me to watch it. So like I spent like a whole 4 hours just watching One Punch Man, and like I feel like I could binge watch a series. Now I don't, but I feel like that's because after I watched One Piece, I was like animated out. But like, do you guys feel like is it because of like us growing older and not having enough time to like watch the stuff that we like, or is it just, do you think it's anime fatigue?
Basically, it's a big part of it. Because you had time to binge watch when you were younger, but now obviously different responsibilities. So
that's true. But then I also find that like, if it's something I'm really, really into, like I'll find the time. So I don't know. I think like, yeah, but not completely. Like it's definitely changed. But yeah, I'd say not 100%.
Okay. What about you?
I think just because of like for the format, like how they released it on TV, like it would be like, okay, 1 day a week or 2 days of the week, and it would be like at that same time. every day. Like I think for me, I think Naruto was like Monday evenings at 7 on Jetix.
You
So
remember
like
exactly at
after
that.
school, like I'd just be there like watching it.
Mm.
Like I think it was Mondays or Fridays.
Mm.
I can't remember the exact time, but yeah, after school, come like in the evening, get ready and watch it. So like similarly now, it's like the shows that release on certain days. If I have time, I'll watch them when they release. If not, then I just leave it to the end, like the weekend, like
I
Sunday,
can't.
and watch all the weekly stuff then.
I generally can't do that because it's like I feel like it turns into a chore for me, and like I want to enjoy it. It's like a big pile up of episodes. Like if I miss 1 week, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I have to make sure I have like enough time during the week to be like, yeah, I can watch the episodes on that day. So like with One Piece, I don't mind missing 1 week of One Piece because I know it's a Sunday, so I can like watch 2 episodes of like One Piece.
Yeah.
But if it's like, what am I watching at the moment? Like during the weekday, I think Ancient Magnus Bride. If I miss on a Thursday, so if I miss that episode on a Thursday, I'm like, oh, I have to find time to try and watch that. So I think I can't. I don't know. For me, I find it hard to do that.
I think it's just fitting it into your
Time.
schedule.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's
like,
basically it.
obviously different stuff releases on different days. So like for example, now I'm watching Heavenly Delusion and Hell's Paradise,
Saturday.
and Demon Slayer, and like Demon Slayer doesn't come until like Sunday evening, but Heavenly Delusion and Hell's Paradise release like tonight. So
Yeah.
like I'll just try and watch it all like on the Sunday, just so it's put together.
Do you know what? That's the exact same as me. Like I started like because I'm watching Hell's Paradise and Demon Slayer at the moment as well. And when the season started, I was Demon Slayer didn't start immediately. I think I was like 3-4 episodes and then I caught up. But yeah, I was watching on Saturday and then Sunday, and then it just got to a point where it's like, nah, realistically, I'm just gonna watch both of these on Sunday. By the way, did you know there's not gonna be one today, Hell's Paradise?
Yeah, June 3rd, I think.
Yeah, next Saturday. Yeah.
But do you guys factor in like spoiler alerts? Or do you don't?
Yes and no, because I see clips like on Instagram. I'm like, fuck, let me watch this week's episode. If I'd try and find time to do it, but it depends.
It's definitely a yes and no answer for me as well, because all my spoilers come from Twitter. And so when I know I haven't seen something, I'll just avoid Twitter like the plague until I've seen that episode.
Yeah, you see, I see the episode previews and it's like, okay, let me stay off this like until I've watched everything, because they be spoiling stuff on that app, man.
It's true.
So, going on from that, would you guys feel like your favorite animes change over time as well? Then, because of just in general, like us growing up, would you say that your favorite animes changed?
I think it depends on like your preferences and whether your preferences change or not. Because for me, I feel like the shows that I like the most have the most impact on me, and for that reason, it hasn't necessarily changed. But like maybe the stuff that I choose to watch has changed. Like I wouldn't watch like as many shonen as I used to watch back then. Like for example, people who have watched Black Clover don't hate me, but I can't get into Black Clover, so I haven't watched it, and I'd rather watch something like Villain Saga, for example. And that's not like to hate, like it's not to hate at all on like Black Clover, just because my preferences have changed, like for what I'm like into. So.
But do you feel like shonen has changed, like in terms of how dark they can be?
Yes, that has changed as well. Obviously, because of like stuff like Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen. And Hell's Paradise. So I think it just depends like on what your taste is.
Do you know what's weird about how dark it is? Because Hunter x Hunter is quite dark for the time it came out in terms of it being a shonen. So I'll say that's one of my that is one of my favorite animes though.
It's kind of weird because Hunter x Hunter is kind of like hit or miss, because it looks from the outside, it looks like a very happy shonen. But then once you get into it, it's like, oh yeah, I rock with this.
Because
like
the protagonists are like two young kids. You think it can't be that dark, but actually,
there's a whole world. Like
well, the question in terms of, I'll say, Attack on Titans has risen up. For me, because I think it's unique that the plot, just the idea of it, the whole world, like.
I keep on saying this. I'm just very interested to see how people's reactions to the ending of it is gonna be, because how it ends and how people received it in terms of the manga, it had mixed reviews. So it's gonna be interesting how people are gonna receive it once the movie comes out. So
I was gonna read it, but now I feel like
You might as well, because you still
No,
got like.
I've waited this long. Like we're only a few months away
You
now.
might as
Like,
well just wait for anime to come out. There's no point.
like, I'm not saying I will never read it. Like once I've seen it, I might go back and read it. But yeah, I think at this point, like I've waited so long, I might as well just wait.
I
to
still
see it
need.
through
I
now.
still haven't watched the movie.
Oh, the part one of
I
the
need
special.
to- I still need to watch
You
that.
could just wait till and then watch it
I
together.
don't- That's a whole
Save
that's
yourself.
2 hours and the nice 2 hours.
Because when it ended, I was like, you niggas have to wait a whole another like 9 months.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The whole baby.
It was a decent movie as well. They did, I think they did a good job, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's just annoying like that they had to do that. So
Yeah, bit money grabby, but we move, I guess.
It's what it is. But for me, I feel like this. I would change the way I started watching anime in terms of the first animes I watched. Would you guys do the same thing?
Not necessarily the first, but maybe some of the early ones I would switch. But like, I feel like because of the way I got into it in the first place, that like I probably wouldn't change it. Like the very start, that is.
I agree with you with the middle. I guess the middle, but it's like my middle turns into like the beginning the same way. It's because like I stopped. I didn't carry on watching it. I didn't stop. I started watching it again like year 10, and then stopped in year 11 and watched it like in college and then throughout college now. So like the animes I watched in between, I feel like I would watch the big three first, get all the big ones out the way, and then watch the smaller ones, because that took up so much of my time that I'm never getting back.
yeah.
So yeah, I spent 4 months watching One Piece, and then after that, I don't feel like I've watched anime. So
That changes a man.
literally, I've met someone. I think I was playing basketball. We were playing basketball one time, and one of the people we were playing with said their brother watched it in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Literally.
With no sleep. I'm
Wait,
like,
but is that even like mathematically
no.
possible? Like,
He's not sleeping.
I mean, if you have like power naps in between, but like
no, but I mean, literally speaking, like, isn't 1,000 episodes like
No,
isn't
but
that
it
more
works
than
like-
2 literal weeks?
Wait,
like,
actually, that's what.
no, let's do
It
some
has to be
basic
like
maths on this
some,
because
He was skipping the fillers.
world record for
He
something.
was skipping the
like
fillers. He was just watching the canon. It had to be.
that makes sense actually.
It had to be. Yes. I think about it's even mathematically impossible.
So 366.
yeah, so times that by
I don't think it is.
So no, but 3 episodes. You can watch 3 episodes in an hour, or like 2 episodes in an hour.
Basically,
Wait, so how many
20
hours
minutes long,
is
yeah. You
it?
can watch 3 in the hour. So. Times 24 is like 70.
First one comes up.
yeah, of course.
So 420, but that's now. So that was like a couple years ago. So it's 420 points. So
it's like
17 days to take.
Whole Cake Island that time, I think that's when.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was at the start because it was like 2021, 2020 when we were. Because it was that summer we played basketball nearly every day. So it's like I guess it's like 2. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's still crazy. And like you probably didn't sleep that often.
Yeah, that must have been just like. But at that point, are you even watching it anymore? Or are you just enduring it? Like,
That's what that's what it turns into. You're literally enduring it to get to get to Wano.
That's true.
That's that's in store for you
Yeah.
when you start watching
Yeah,
it.
literally
Yeah,
today I
me
was
as
thinking
well.
this morning.
Have you not watched it?
Yeah. This morning I was thinking, you know what? When I do my exercise routine, if I'm gonna get a treadmill and I just just power walk and just watch the episode, and then like in an hour's time I would watch 3 episodes because I can't see myself. Well, I can, but like I need to find a way to handle like that many episodes because it's a lot.
I'm sorry, that just reminded me. So, before I started the job I'm in now, I was temporarily doing sales at a gym for a little bit, right? And I saw there was this one dude who always used to come in and do exactly what you're describing, get on the treadmill or the the step walker thing. Yeah. Get on that, like set his phone up. Sometimes he'd even bring his iPad.
Okay.
He had it all set up, and he would literally just like keep going and watch through some stuff.
Yeah.
And one time I walked past him and he was watching Attack on Titan. Wait, a spoiler's cool?
I guess it was a spoiler warning, but I guess by now you should watch the Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. So I saw that he had like literally just started the episode where Sasha gets shot. I was just like, oh no, like I know what you're in for, but I can't say anything. I just have to watch it unfold. And then like I literally saw him raise his hand up to his mouth and it happened. I was just like, oh, I know where he's at. Like I was literally just peeping him on the CCTV. I was just like, I'm sure I'll be able to work it out. Like
Gosh, yeah, that one was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what was more. I don't know what was more shocking because I read it in the manga.
Yeah.
I guess when I found out, I don't know. Maybe because I read it in the manga, it didn't impact me as much, but I knew it was coming. So I don't know.
Yeah, for me it was just like the whole I hate Gabby. Like,
That pissed me off. That pissed me off because it's just like it's basically, but it's the way he led her to the. I can't even spoil it. But the way they characterized her and her kind of character development is very similar to Erin's.
Yeah,
And it's like everyone thought she was going to be the new Erin.
yeah.
So I guess I'm not going to spoil it anymore. But yeah. So what was everyone's like ideal anime recommendations would be for like a first time anime like goer? What would be like the first 5 animes you would tell someone to watch?
First 5.
Yeah.
for people who are kind of like not as open to the idea of anime, I tend to recommend Death Note first. Well, as one of the earlier ones.
Majority of people
Still haven't watched that.
Yeah, I was.
Still haven't watched.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
this deep. I have an anime podcast, and like I'm this deep into like watching anime, and I still haven't watched Death Note. It's crazy.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, one day I might watch it. But okay, Death Note. He's still thinking.
Yeah.
For me, I think Death Note is good. No problem, because I recommended it to one of my friends, and he just couldn't get into it. And like that's the thing, it's because it's such a good story, and it's so like smart how they have like intellectual battles between each other. I don't know why my friend couldn't get into it, but it's such a solid like watch because it's not like so like like super power. It's like very realistic. So that's a really good recommendation. I definitely recommend Attack on Titan. One of my friends who'd never watched anime before, he saw Attack on Titan and he was hooked.
Yeah,
like he's
100%, yeah.
literally like started reading the manga and everything. He's never watched anime in his life. So definitely Attack on Titan. Obviously, I think with the popularity, Spirited Away.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of films. I
wasn't even gonna. You thought? No,
I'm gonna say Demon Slayer. It's a popularity.
No. Spirited Away, just because of like the whole like art style and stuff like that. That's a lot of people's like first watch when they're like children. Like maybe not some among boys, but like girls.
That's what I'm saying. Girls love Studio Ghibli films.
Yeah. And then like my personal recommendations would be like so that's 3, and I'd put the 2 more I'd put would be like Hunter x Hunter. And then because I showed my friend that's one of his first shows, and that's Tommy, by the way. That's his first show that he
That's why he loves Hunter x Hunter, because always see the shirt and it makes sense now. It makes so much sense.
Gassed, like just watching like Gon and Killua's like friendship development and like the whole world of like hunters. So that, and I'd recommend my personal one would be Avatar. Even though it's not an anime.
I count that. I count that. That is an anime.
Avatar. During pandemic, I rewatched both.
And Korra.
Yeah, the original Korra.
I've watched stuff so backwards. I did this with Naruto.
Korra first.
Yes, I watched Korra. I did this with Shippuden. I watched Shippuden first and then watched Naruto. But I always say this. I blame Owelemi for making me watch Shippuden first. But yeah, I watched Korra and then I watched Legend of Aang. I don't know why. I always watch the stuff back to front. I don't know what's wrong with me. I watched Korra first.
You know what's crazy? I still haven't seen Korra, but I've seen Last Airbender like each episode like a minimum of 8 times for sure.
Yeah, I've watched it
like, for sure. I also rewatched it during lockdown as well.
Yeah, because it was on Netflix for like.
Now it's on Netflix. Is it still on Netflix?
I think it's.
Korra's on Netflix. I know Korra's.
Wait, they took it down?
Yeah. Because I think they're gearing up for the live action.
It's coming up. Yeah.
Do you know when the live action One Piece comes out, they need to put at least a couple seasons of One Piece on UK Netflix? Because that's what they when the live action for Cowboy Bebop came, they brought back the Cowboy Bebop because they took it off, and then I don't know why they took off Samurai Champloo. That's just annoying to me. But yeah, Joey, do you have any? What was your recommendation of 5 you would give?
Even though You need energy. The big three. For
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Naruto, One Piece. For the culture, Dragon Ball Z. I
Mm.
know there's a lot, but if they have energy to do it, I thought that they'll get hooked on because I think it works for majority of people. Yeah.
I feel like Demon Slayer as well is one that's like quite easy to pick up, especially if you've not really watched anime before. Because I know a good few people. It wasn't even necessarily a recommendation, but like my friends who have never watched anime came up to me just like, "Yo, Ash, like I watched Demon Slayer. Like, yo, this shit's fire." And I'm just like, "Yeah, man, I've been trying to tell you." Like,
Do you want to go first? Are you still thinking?
do you know what? Other than those two, like
Go on.
the ones I would have said have pretty much already been said. So I'm trying to rattle my brain to see if there's any other obvious ones. I mean, if you know some real like weird individuals, you could probably go with something like Akira. But like, you know,
I don't know if you should recommend like the shorter ones, like
I'm trying to think
One
like
Punch
shit.
Man or Sword
Yeah,
Art Online.
Oh,
One Punch
yes,
Man.
that
One
was
Punch
a
Man.
good
People
shout,
would get
yeah.
into One
Yeah,
Punch
One Punch Man
Man.
is good.
Mhm.
There are some short like 25 episode ones like Summertime Rendering.
Short. People don't think 25 episodes is short. You know,
seriously.
people
Actually, to be fair,
people would find it hard to
Yeah.
watch a 25 episode
Yeah.
anime series. I think it's 12. People love the 12 ones.
12.
But that's the thing, it's only 25 episodes. I mean 25 minutes. So like like it depends how hooked you are into it. I guess. Like,
Oh, do you know what? There is one. Hold up. Let me think of the name because like.
Because I have a similar story
completely
about the you telling Tom and you to watch
Yeah,
Hunter x Hunter. I told Dom to watch Hunter x Hunter. That's the first one I told him to watch,
Mm.
and he got hooked like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and he loved it. Like that's how he got into anime and everything because of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, you can tell. You can tell. That's not even like
He
yeah,
got hooked.
for sure.
Who else?
Ah, this is gonna bug me. Hold up.
What
I
else?
hope it's still on Netflix because if it's not, that's just.
I think. Yeah, it would be Big Three definitely.
Would you say My Hero?
Yeah, I think the first season is 12 episodes, so people will get into that very quickly.
Oh, Baki's a good one. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through Netflix
yeah,
right now
Baki,
because like.
I can't get into
I
Baki.
watched the first like 10
I can't get into Baki at all. I'm trying to think what else is there that I've watched. There's a 12 episode anime that I've. I don't know. I watched this recently, but actually no, I don't think people would. No.
I think sometimes it just boils down to your taste. as well.
Preferences, yeah, definitely.
And
Oh, Kuroko no Basket for sports
I've
heads.
watched a bit of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're actually the animation style will
Sports
put
ones,
people
like-
off. I know hack.
Hajime.
No, I still haven't watched that. I need
Watched it,
to.
that's good.
Isn't it a long one? I swear it's a long.
Kind of long, yeah.
Um.
It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I saw that. Would you recommend Blue Lock then?
Who's watching?
Have you watched Blue Lock?
Yeah, of course.
Did you enjoy it?
The thing is, yeah, it had like I don't hate it.
I still didn't enjoy it when I was watching it. I couldn't
It,
get into
it
it.
just depends. Like I don't know. Like I was gassed for like certain characters. That's the thing. Like so, I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do next.
Okay.
Like with it, especially because TikTok always be spoiling stuff like with like clips from the manga and stuff. So I've seen already like
The stuff that's
certain
gonna
things that are gonna happen. So and the fact that like certain people get certain like abilities. So I'm looking forward to seeing like what they do next.
I don't get my brain how I don't like Blue Lock but like Galactic Football.
I'm dead.
Like I love Galactic Football.
That was a thing. Yeah.
But is
But-
that nostalgia though?
Yeah,
Maybe,
that's what it
maybe,
is.
maybe,
You're right.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But another one for sports is probably Haiku.
Yeah,
I need to watch that. I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched it either, but I've heard a lot of good things though.
I'll say Ping Pong, but I don't know whether people would like that because of the animation style. It's a very unique animation style, but it's really good.
So the one I was trying to find the name of isn't on Netflix anymore. So I've messaged my boy and hopefully he responds in a timely manner in it. But I guess we'll have to see because it has completely slipped my brain. But I think it is a good shout.
You know that show, the one with the old man and that young guy who both had theirs, that they kind of like became like androids.
Oh, and I need to
Yeah,
watch.
but-
That looks. And it's a One Piece meme when he
Yeah,
comes in and
well,
says, "What's your favorite?"
What's your favorite anime? Not One Piece.
It's in the show.
Yeah, I can't remember.
In the sub. I haven't. Is that? Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I watched it. Yeah, it was just chaotic.
I think I'd like-
It was like a good chaotic show to watch. I definitely recommend that. Parasite. It's another good one that I would recommend.
I feel like I think a very good place to start with anime is either 12-episode anime, Studio Ghibli films, or like Akira. What's another classic anime film? Why has it gone up my head? Studio Ghibli films, Akira. I cannot think of any other. Wicked. I know Wicked City is just nuts. Ninja Scroll. It's whether you like stuff like that. So Akira, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D. Is that how you say it? Vampire, something like that. But yeah, I think if you like stuff like that, you would get into stuff like that. Yeah, so now we're gonna do guess the anime segment. So, but this time it's like theme songs. So, I said you're gonna do it until you win. It's up to you. Do you want to do it?
Who am I?
It'll be against Joe.
Let's go for it. What would it be up to 5?
Yeah. So I have to do 30 seconds because I'm not trying to get copyright of each song.
Yeah.
I'm just picking a random one from. It's just easy. Oh, it's in 50 seconds. Did I get copyright for this?
Free
advertising.
Their rules are so mad.
There's no place like Craig.
Find your next pair of boots in the world's largest.
I want to buy new. I want to buy new boots. I've been thinking about that for time. Those boots are messed up.
Shop now.
You seen those new Adidas Prada joints?
They actually look nice. To
I
be
know.
honest.
I saw those the other day. They actually look kind of cold.
Okay, it doesn't want to work. Okay, so it says, can you guess it in 15 seconds? I don't get. Oh my god. Why is it not letting me? Oh no, it is.
Oh. What about?
Oh yeah, I heard this.
Haven't had that in years.
1-0 draw. I was struggling with that one. Okay, wait, let me know. Wait. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know this one. I don't even know One Punch Man though.
Is it sort of online?
Let's see. You got like two. I don't know this one. I'm not gonna lie. Black Blottler.
I haven't watched Back Up though.
Okay, good.
Because Netflix messed up the season, so I haven't watched it properly. I was supposed to.
I feel like I should just search animes instead. Should I? Because I don't know whether Joey's gonna get off of these.
No, but do you know what it is? We're gonna get ads for like all of that, so it might just get a bit.
I don't know.
Wait, check the comments. There might be timestamps for this. Maybe.
That was helpful. Literally no time stamps on my being stupid.
Someone might have put it in the comments.
Check replies.
Nah.
It's gonna be ads. No.
We understand this one. It's a Demon Slayer.
Let's do that again for Joey. He's been paying attention.
It's just like
Yeah, cool.
I've heard this, but I forgot where it's from.
Black Clover. Let me just let it play. So it's still one though. Okay.
Oh, actually, no, Koi.
Yeah.
One Piece.
No, fair enough. I was too slick. I told you.
4-0.
Fair.
Attack on Titan.
That's a whitewash.
Wait, what's the score?
5-0.
Done,
Oh,
done.
You know what it is, yeah?
I think I need 30 seconds.
You know what it is? It's not fair because
that's always half of them
Yeah.
you're not gonna get.
my whole Spotify, I literally have.
You know, anime.
Oh, that's
So,
yeah.
like, I like to listen to anime music like when I work out. Like so, like
Of course I'm gonna You take it one.
Alright, cool. Alright, come here and do it. Come here and do it. Then. Come.
The same.
Yeah, still do it.
I'm dead.
I'm not. My brain is dying. I can't think of like half of them.
Wait, let's see if it gets like more difficult or maybe. skip
The
it.
second one was difficult because only people that have watched like this season of anime.
Yeah,
know
anime.
it.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
know it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Fair. All right.
Because even in different pitch, at first I was like, hold on, but I recognized the tune. Naruto.
Oh!
This guy's too good.
That's what I was gonna start singing.
But do we give that for not specifying Shippuden?
Naruto should have been opening 16.
Yeah, fair play. You get
All right, redemption. Oh wait, we missed this one.
Start again.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, no, Gami.
Yes.
Yeah,
He gets that. He gets that. You know, he gets that.
Is it 2 or 3 notes? He's gonna beat. He's gonna
Two
kill
notes.
me. He's gonna.
7 Deadly Sins.
Is it?
Yeah, first opening.
Yeah.
No,
spot on, yeah.
He's gonna beat me. Watch. 3 0. I'm gonna go.
Oh, Hell's Paradise.
Oh no.
Now
I'm disappointed in
Now I
you
feel
for that.
better. Now I feel better.
I'm gonna get white. I told you.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, take it off. Take it off. Nah,
Run it. Actually, no. Come back. Run it back. One more time. Run it back.
I'm meant to lose, but I'm a casual.
Only the songs that are like on my playlist. Like,
Are you ready? Yeah.
Run it back.
on my playlist.
Alright,
so-
fair enough. Let's go.
All right, this. All right, yeah, cool. Let's go from here.
Haki.
Yep.
Have you ever watched Haiku?
I've watched it, yeah.
Wait, can you tell me which opening it is?
I think it's the third or fourth one.
It is. It's the fourth one.
Oh,
That's insane. All right, cool. Let's keep it going.
keep it going.
Is it? Shit. I think I watched this the other day. It's Love is War.
No,
It's not.
What is it?
What is it?
Kaguya-sama.
Yeah, Love is
Yeah,
War.
it's
Yeah,
not
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Same thing. Oh,
My bad.
Sorry.
Now, do you know what it is? Because on this one, they've been specifying the Japanese name and the English
Okay,
name,
yeah.
but this one has
Oh,
only got
yeah.
the Japanese name on it.
Yeah, I've forgotten the Japanese name. Yeah.
What is it called?
Kaguya-sama Love is War. Hero Academia.
Yeah.
there it is. Let's go.
I told you, my brain.
Which opening?
Third one?
Nah.
Okay, second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because this one I don't remember that well.
I'm not gonna get one. I'm gonna get one.
You have to.
Why does it sound so familiar?
Dragon Ball Z Super. I mean,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super. Sorry. Yeah. That one I almost didn't get. You know, like
Alright, how many? Alright, 2 more, then I'm done because I'm getting.
Nah, do you know what? I want to keep going until Darius gets one. Like, surely.
I'm actually not gonna get this one.
Wait, I'm just going to pause it so it doesn't move on to the next one. Do
Yeah, I'm not gonna get this one.
you want me to run it
Well,
up
I can
again?
watch this. I thought like,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's
that-
right.
Jojo or something.
Yeah.
yes, he got one. He got one. Yeah.
In my head, I was
Sounds like a
thinking it's JoJo, but I haven't watched JoJo.
It sounds like
I'm-
a
I'm
JoJo
with
song.
JoJo.
Hey, he's got one now.
Alright, one more.
Yeah, you got that one. I haven't watched JoJo. So.
Sounds like
Look,
To be honest, I just watched 8 episodes and I didn't pay attention to the opening. That's my defense.
You lot the football. Yeah.
One more. No, this is definitely.
Might as well do one more.
Last
Ah,
one.
yeah.
Definitely last one.
Chainsaw Man.
Darius, what's going on?
1 second
I'm
now.
disappointed in myself.
I'm a cheap because
That's it,
a
once
lot of
again.
these songs are on my playlist.
Exactly.
I can't lie. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah, but some of these Darius just should have.
I
got.
should know. I should know. That was 3 minutes. So I'm gonna use this all the time. Now. I'm gonna practice myself. I'm gonna cheat.
Practicing.
Alright, what's this one? Wait, let's see if we get this one.
It's gonna be some big anime.
No, it's not. You should.
Drums as a hobby.
Oh, these ads.
I need Indeed. Indeed you do. An Indeed CV helps you personalise your job search. And even helps the right job find you.
Nah, you know what? These men aren't paying us. We should probably be talking over this because, like, what? Like, hang on a sec.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man game?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
I wanna... Oh, what's it called? Spy Family.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. No, but how did that ad come so quick? What the hell?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Joe just finessed all of us basically.
I'm an anime nerd, guys. That's what I do in my spare time.
So, alright. So now we're gonna be talking about like manga and like the first manga everyone's read. Have you read a manga yet?
Apart from like One Piece, not really.
Okay. So
I've not really read anything either, so I don't know how much of a addition I'm gonna be able to make to this conversation. But
what anime have you watched recently or watched before? Would you consider reading an anime for?
ooh. Like Chainsaw Man for sure. Hell's Paradise as well. Like that one is just so intriguing. I just have to know more. Of course, we were just talking about Attack on Titan as well. Trying to think. There's a few because Hunter x Hunter being one of the main ones because
You
know,
have
of course
time
it's
to
not-
watch that. You don't know when that's gonna drop again.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like the ones that come to mind for now.
What about you, Joe? Do you have any animes that you've watched that has like
I would like to read the
Yeah.
manga for. I'll say Hunter x Hunter. I'd like to see. I feel like that'll be interesting. Yeah. For sure.
Alright, so what was the first manga?
manga?
Yeah.
Naruto. But I think I can't remember who gave me a copy, whether it was my cousins or I just bought it. But like that was my first manga that I got.
Do you remember the ones in school? The Naruto.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's probably one of the first mangas I read. It was Shaman King.
And
Okay.
the flip.
Yeah.
Do you know they're still in there?
They're still there.
They
The
literally
same
have
ones from
same ones when we were in school. It's mad.
Mad.
Crazy.
They what else have they got? When we were at school, do you remember there being Fruit Basket there?
No.
I don't remember because I think that's new because when
Must be new.
they have Fruit Basket, they have Shaman King, Naruto,
They have
Bleach.
Bleach, yeah. They have Bleach.
They brought a Silent Voice. The last the librarian that left, she brought Silent Voice, so that Silent Voice is there now. Yeah. And then I got the first volume of One Piece from school, cause someone brought it in, and then it was with I can't say names. So basically, my boss, they came looking for me, and then they gave it to my boss, and then my boss was gonna keep it, and then basically the head TA was like, no, they asked for Darius, so they give it to Darius, and then she basically took it from him and gave it to me. So yeah, I got a free copy of One Piece, which was nice. Yeah, for me, I'll say I think Shaman King was the first manga I read. And it's weird. Did you have reading partners at school?
Sure, what? The library session?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
I
you're 7.
Year seven.
Sean's brother was mine.
Sure.
Sean's Babily's older brother was mine.
So what?
And then his brother goes to the school now.
Oh, is it?
His younger brother.
His
It's
younger
weird.
brother.
It's like a whole cycle. It's
Basically,
nuts. Yeah. So, okay, going on from that, what do you think was the first manga that had the biggest impact on you?
Oh, I'm trying to think because I'm trying to do something different than the animes. That's a good question. You know what? Let me check my app one sec because I have everything
For me,
on here.
Berserk, Vagabond, and Solonin. So yeah, Solonin is how do I explain it? It's basically people in their 20s going through a quarter life crisis and trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. So it's
Not bad.
so it's they've just finished, they just graduated. It's from a girl's perspective, and then she's with her boyfriend, and then they're friends from uni. So I really like it because it's relatable. It's the boyfriend's trying to figure out whether he wants to what's he do? His job is like a free, like he does part-time work as like a illustrator, but he has like he goes and like practice twice a week with his band. So he's tackling whether to like go full-time with the band and try and like pursue his dream of the band, or just have a normal life and like do a 9 to 5. So I like, it's relatable and I like that. So it's like one of my favorite mangas because of that. So yeah, I think Vagabond, Berserk, and that. That's all in there. Have you?
I'd definitely say, after the first season aired, I binged Vinland Saga.
That's what I was gonna say. Right.
So, like,
the manga
that's-
better than anime?
no, it's the exact same.
Oh, I just started thinking I'm like on episode 5. So I
Okay,
don't
no,
know.
it's the exact same. What
This is
were you gonna say?
And I was gonna say go off tangent, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say have you watched Vinland Saga yet?
Nah,
Oh,
nah.
okay, you need to. I'm gonna say, how does everyone feel about second season of Vinland Saga?
I was telling him.
Season 1 of like.
No, second season. Have you watched second? Have you caught up in
no,
second season?
what's his name? 4th film. When he was
Yeah.
growing up, I'm season.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say, oh, okay. It's no
Is that
point.
bad? It's-
No, it's just like everyone's not necessarily liking it because it's not him being an edgy teenager.
That's because they're not looking at it from the perspective of like the storyline. Like, I feel like by the time you got to the end of Vinland Saga, if you hadn't like got to see the story of like Thorfinn and like how throughout his quest of revenge he didn't think about the aftermath, which is what Askeladd was telling him. And like
the whole time.
like, and you see like
Is he still on that for his father?
You see, just what episode are you on?
Like episode 5, 6.
Oh, you're still relatively.
The guy that killed the dad.
Yeah,
he's traveling. Askeladd
Yeah.
traveling with him, so he
Yeah.
wants to revenge. He's
Yeah.
grown up now, so
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like now.
I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, like if you don't like get the whole message that the story is trying to tell you with like these quests for revenge,
Oh, okay,
which
I
is like
see.
it's a very typical story, but like if you don't get that message, like then it's kind of
Oh,
like
it's a
you
message
missed
to it.
the
Okay, I'm gonna
you
check.
kind of missed the whole point
Mm.
of like the show, which is why like season 2 is kind of like taking out people who don't want to watch it
Oh, okay.
because of that. There's no action and stuff like that, and like. Yeah, it's like season 2 is tricky because season 2 is kind of like a prequel to like the whole story. I feel like season 1 was just like kind of like
It should be its
introduces,
own,
like showing you the world and
yeah.
like different characters, and then
Yeah.
season 2 like it's more like showing you Thorfinn, beginning of Thorfinn's journey.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, I feel like Vinland Saga definitely had a big impact on me for that reason, because this like the story as a whole is just pretty good, and seeing his growth as a character.
Growth,
Yeah, and like seeing how everyone else in the world, reacts to Thorfinn, and that's the thing. They still have like all those moments of action and stuff.
Mhm.
Just done it in a different. It's done in a more tasteful way, I think.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not in a compact space of time.
yeah,
It's not like every week there's something
yeah. Exactly.
craziness happens. It's rather, that's why it's more tasteful and it's
Yeah.
more impactful when
Yeah.
the violence did happen. Because when, I can't spoil it. But there's a fight that happens in
Yeah.
season 2
Yeah.
when everything's been peaceful for time,
Yeah.
and then it just happens. You're like, yeah, we're back to
Yeah.
the fighting and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this, and without bringing anything up that might spoil in it, do you remember the conversation you had with my friend Chirag about it, where what his
It's-
gripes were?
It's
with-
exactly the same.
Right.
It's
Okay.
exact-
Okay. Yeah.
Dom
I
has
get
the
you.
same gripes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. That's why, because I was watching a clip on Instagram. I think it was like it was a anime podcast as well, and they were saying it was funny. They were saying people who don't like season 2 of the Vinland Saga don't like growth. Like they literally don't like growth. When I saw, it, I was like, I agree, it's funny,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Because Vinland Saga is not a shonen jump, is it?
No, it's
And
not.
that's the thing. I feel like people went into it thinking it was a shonen jump just because of like the standard. Like
That's a very dark
anime
shonen show.
yeah,
show if
and
it
it's
is.
not a shonen jump. So like,
Mm.
it's like season 2 especially more like it plays more like a drama. Like
Mm.
you know,
Slice of life.
yeah, slash of life. Yeah, it's just that there's a lot going on. Like there's a lot of character development and themes like throughout. So and seeing them play out in the mangas, pretty cool. I'd also say Tower of God, the manhwa Korean manga, because I've obviously watched the anime adaptation and then read the manga, and it's kind of like One Piece in terms of this overarching journey, but it's just there's just so much going on. But I really like the individual arcs that they go to. Like there's so many cool arcs, and like there's 2 time skips. And
There's
a lot-
2 now.
Yeah, there's 2.
There's
So-
been another one.
So there's it's got.
I stopped reading it.
So like there's obviously you know the anime that's like kind of like the prequel. Then there's the first time skip,
Yeah.
and the story just kind of continues on.
Mm.
And then there's a second time skip, when Bang like goes on the training for like a year, and he has like long hair and a ponytail.
Which bit am I? I think
You may or may not be on that.
no, I was on
Up to that bit.
I was on the bit where I think they killed his master, the one when he was training. Did they ever killed him or
They've captured him.
Yeah, they captured
Yeah.
him, and then they've gone and attacked. Like the big. I just remember what I can picture in my head is a big ship going to this big place. That's the last chapter I read, but I can't remember.
Okay, so so I think you're on the. Does
Like
he
the-
have long hair?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, so
wall.
you're close, like
Okay, I haven't-
because like where they are now is kind of start moving on from that.
Yeah,
but, like
I
it's
haven't-
still
I
the
haven't read
same.
it,
The same
so-
characters are still involved currently. So
Okay, I need to read.
yeah, and there's some new characters that have joined. Some new princesses of Zahad that have joined, and some old ones as well. So yeah.
So,
Yeah, just catch up, but yeah, it's still on the same lines. But yeah, just like the whole overarching theme of like, there's 10 families, and the main character was originally supposed to be one of the 10, but he's not, and like the whole like mystery behind his birth and like stuff being
He's
unraveled
Yeah.
and why he's an irregular.
Is Rachel still there?
Yeah, she's still there.
Still a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, she's still a bitch. She's teamed up with one of the family heads from. You may have seen him. It's the guy with like short brown hair and glasses.
I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah, you probably won't remember. But yeah, she's still. They tried to set up
Bam
Coon
again.
again.
You always
Yeah.
saying him up.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's just jarring. Like,
bro.
yeah. So.
I might
But,
read
yeah,
it.
especially because Bam is so powerful now. He could just one shot these niggas. But no, like, yeah, it's just annoying. Yeah, the story is pretty cool. Like just like seeing the whole like fights between the different family heads, and seeing obviously Bam's character development as he gets older and learns more about the whole world. So yeah, Tower of God as well. Trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously Berserk, but we don't even say too much about Berserk. Berserk's just a
Have you
Amazing
tapped into
story.
any of Berserk yet?
I'm familiar with some of what's going on when it comes to Berserk, but no, not like that, to answer your question.
That I swear that scarred. It scarred me.
Yeah.
It scarred me. I think it will scar me for the rest of my life.
Do you know how I actually, like, started to find out about what was actually going on there? Is because this one SoundCloud rapper called Rob Banks
I
made a
knew it had to
mixtape
be him. It had to be. It did what
called
you say.
Griffith Did Nothing Wrong. And so I was just like, who's that fella? Why has he not done anything wrong? All right. Well, I've only ever used this phrase, I've only ever heard it used once on like Reddit and 4chan by those type of degenerates. And it obviously wasn't Griffith. It was another name, which we won't delve into right now. But I thought it can't be good. But curiosity got the better of me. And
Is
yeah,
it gonna
did a big
still? Is
thing.
it gonna still be recording? Please say it's
Yeah,
still
it's still
recording.
recording.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think. Have you heard of Berserk before?
I've heard of it, but I've watched. Is it good?
I don't know whether you could read. I don't. No, because this is so mad. Do you know how religious, you have from a very religious background? So you reading it will just like
Oh, it's
flip.
like that.
It will flip.
Oh.
It will
It's like
flip.
that, yeah.
It will flip.
Dark.
So I don't know whether you
I
would.
might find that interesting.
Man, you could. It's
Is it
called.
like-
It's the most taptist thing I will ever read in my life. It's like, yeah,
I probably know about 5% of what's going on, and I can wholeheartedly agree with that.
like, cause
But I've watched tap animes,
have you watched Devilman?
like Prison School. That's tap.
No, that's comedy
It's
tap.
comedy tap. This is like real life tap. Like,
Oh, okay, I see. There's different.
It's like there's demons.
Oh,
There's if your dad catches you watching that, it's game over.
Basically. All right.
Has Joel not
I
heard?
watched him. I feel like he has. Is it? How long is it?
It's like it's 300 and something
300
chapters.
Chapters. Okay.
But yeah, that's
Oh, ask him.
That's one of the. I think that's. Would you recommend that for someone to read, like if they're getting into manga?
No, because I think it just depends on your
Taste again, yeah.
Because some people would either be immediately hooked, other people would be turned off by it and never watch anime ever again. So I think it depends. Like, and the thing is, it's made for like a particular audience. I think with like certain taste.
Are we good? Are we like okay to be like that? We find that interesting. Like genuinely, like
I mean, some of the stuff we brought up, yeah, maybe we should probably like.
I mean, it's kind of like like Game of Thrones, like how people are into that. Like it's on the
Yeah, I can have to go for it.
yeah.
no, but that's not.
That's like fantasy though. Like I don't know. I feel like
It's
there's
a slightly darker, like
Yeah.
like because while it is dark, I think there's just an element of separation because it's live action and you know that that's not actually going around outside or was going on historically. I feel like there's that disconnect of just like, oh, it's not real. Like I'm watching a fictional story, whereas with this, it's like
someone's imagination.
yeah,
He's imagined this stuff.
yeah.
Like, but yeah, okay, yeah. Because the first, like, apart from Shaman King, the first one I actually read was not Demon Slayer, Seven Deadly Sins.
okay.
I've got like Seven Deadly Sins. First, I don't know how that got me. I was so hooked on Seven Deadly. I felt the first season of Seven Deadly Sins was really good, so that hooked me, and I read like I loved
To
reading.
be fair, I think that just obviously anime aside, the manga was solid until like the very end. I think
that was so stupid.
I say the same. That's the thing with anime, like with manga, like because the original source material, they kind of take their time to like craft the story. So like you read it as they release the chapters, and so I feel like you feel this natural story progression as opposed to the anime where they either do anime only scenes or they cut like certain stuff out from the manga, so the adaptation isn't like 100%. So I feel that with Seven Deadly Sins, I'm the same with like Promised Neverland in terms of like the storyline was very good until like the very end in the manga.
Would you tell people to read to watch wow. Yeah, actually Seven Deadly Sins as one of the first anime and Promised Neverland as one of the first animes then.
Oh yeah, I'd recommend Promised Neverland and season 1 of Seven Deadly Sins as the first first anime because those are very good, especially the first season of Promised Neverland. That's like
that was one of the best
really good
seasons of
Yeah,
anime.
I forgot about that when we were talking about it earlier. That's definitely a good shout.
because there's only 12 episodes.
Trying to think. What else would I recommend? No. I would actually recommend Samurai Champloo because especially if you like music, if you're a music head, I think
hip hop.
you would love Cowboy Bebop and you would love that if you like music. I think you would love watching that. Again, so do you think you have manga fatigue?
In terms of being too tired to read it.
No, or like, could you read manga? It's like the anime, could you read?
Like, can you get burnt out on it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a better way to put it. Thank you.
Yes and no. In terms of the stuff that comes out weekly, same with the anime, I read it weekly when it comes out. Stuff that I want to get into, yes, I kind of have to take my time. Like I can't just like do like 3 that I haven't never read before and read them all at once. Like, for example, I think Sakamoto Days came up on my
to read that.
For You page on TikTok. So now I've started like properly reading it like on the train. I just download the chapters on my app, so I just read them. But like I can't read anything else. Like it has to be that and the weekly stuff.
Okay.
I'm reading until like I finish
That one.
Yeah, I know I'll catch up and then I can go like start something else. Yeah.
See, I'm like on the border of that because like I still need to finish reading Dorohedoro because I was reading that and Monster at the same time. So I finished Monster and then like I got to play. I'm only like 40 chapters away from finishing Dorohedoro and I still haven't finished it. But like it depends. It depends how much time I have, whether I can watch all of the stuff I watch, read all the stuff I will read. So it's really just finding time again to read all of that, basically. Yeah. What manga recommendations would you give these two to get into manga?
I'd definitely say Ooh, that's a good question.
While you're thinking about that, I
Yeah.
feel like Hunter x Hunter is just a default for the two of us. For sure.
Yeah, definitely Hunter x Hunter.
I'll do that.
Yeah, because the arc that comes after the election arc is pretty good. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, like, and the whole like dark continent that you may have. I think is it mentioned in anime?
No, so
Yeah.
well, I think it gets hinted at, but
Yeah.
not like
feel like-
mentioned
I
like
think they
that.
hint at it, but then the manga like
You know when
Goes into it,
Gon and Jing are talking.
On the God's
Oh,
on the-
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's where it gets like
Yeah.
either referenced or
Yeah.
brought up briefly. But I know a bit more about it through like talking to my friends who have read it, and they've given me like a little bit of a rough outline without telling me everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just know that there's like we're just at the tip of the iceberg type deal. Like, and I know there's so much more,
There's
which
so
is
much
why I
more,
said that's the default for us. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start reading manga anyway because of One Piece. I'm gonna, before someone spoils it for me, so I think I'm gonna have
I'm
to.
surprised none of your brothers have spoiled it for you.
Nah, I've given them a warning. Like,
You're gonna if it would be anyone, it would be Josh.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter definitely. Claymore definitely.
I
is
started
another good
watching it. I
one.
started reading that,
Yeah.
then I never finished it.
Yeah, because it's sort of has like
Berserk elements.
similar themes to Berserk. It's
Yeah.
not as dark though. That's
Right.
It's,
man,
it's,
it's intrigued
it's
me.
still
I'm
dark.
reading this
But
Berserk.
when you read it, please tell every 10 chapters, give me your thoughts
Honestly,
about it.
Now I'm too intrigued. I'm gonna read it. There's no anime for it. Just don't
There is an anime, but that
I would watch
because
that.
have you heard of the Eclipse?
No.
Okay, yeah, let me be quiet.
All right.
don't go on YouTube and watch that later.
Yeah,
when
don't.
this ends because you'll be traumatized. Well, not traumatized. Well, maybe.
I'm intrigued. I want to see.
Yeah, what? That's what I'm saying. When people say stuff like this, it's just like,
so,
hold
okay,
up,
Berserk
like-
will definitely be one then. Berserk, if you guys, yeah, Berserk.
Mm.
So Hunter, Berserk.
Yeah, Claymore.
Yeah, Claymore as well.
Thing is with Berserk though, because I feel like because Devilman Crybaby had like
That came up before, but
yeah,
the man.
like obviously Berserk takes inspiration from
Mhm.
Devilman Crybaby, with certain elements and like characters, but I don't think I think the Berserk Eclipse just triumphs like everything. Like it's just it's like the ultimate betrayal.
I wish that someone actually. I'm sure there must be an interview out there of them asking him what like inspired you to come up with the Eclipse.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's actually one that I've wanted to look into for a while. I found out about it when I started watching Chainsaw Man because it's by the same fella. Fire Punch. Fire Punch.
I need to read that.
I heard about it and I have a rough gist of like the outline of the story. That sounds crazy. Like just reading that very basic description of it, I was just like, yeah, like this is definitely one I'm gonna check out. Like I just have to know. Like,
Apparently, it's as tapped as Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
But-
no, it's more, well,
What?
actually, okay. So I'm only one season into Chainsaw Man, and I've not read any of it, so I can't like really say that with much confidence that it's like more tapped than Chainsaw Man. But based on what I've seen and what I do know, like I think this takes it a step beyond. Like,
Yeah, it's on my list actually. Fire
Mm.
Punch,
I need to read that as well.
like, do you guys know about like the rough like
yeah,
concept?
and there's that meme of the main character's face
Yeah.
that it goes everywhere. What else is there? So I'm trying to think of anything I've read that you would.
Also, just to go back to the starter animes, because my friend actually just replied, Akame Kill was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
recommendations, yeah. That's it. Same. One of my friends, I recommended that to me. He watched it.
Mhm.
He was like, "Oh, that's annoying," because of the ending, obviously.
Mm.
I watched when it was on Netflix. I watched a couple of episodes and I never finished that.
No, you should.
If you like that, you should watch Gurren Lagann, isn't it? It's the same.
Gurren Lagann, yeah.
And I need to finish that as well. I started watching it, never finished it. It's
Gurren
actually
Lagann
good.
has a more wholesome story.
That's one of my friends' like favorite
Yeah.
of all time. Like partly because of nostalgia, partly because he just really enjoys it. But yeah.
Yeah, I used to wake up at like 3 a.m. on a school morning, watch Gurren Lagann on my iPod Touch with my free Crunchyroll subscription, and then go to school at like 7 a.m. and I repeat until I finished it.
I might watch that during half time. Yeah, I might.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good theme music as well.
If you Foolie, have you watched Foolie Cooley?
I haven't.
I think that you would like that. It's like, if I'm correct, 6 or 8 episodes. It's like a OVAs. It's, how do I describe it? It's chaotic. So basically, some girl comes out of nowhere on a bike and then hits this guy on the head, and then his head, like forehead, turns into a square and grows bigger, and then some robot comes out of it, and then just fights to save the city.
Oh, the natural progression, yeah.
But there's more in it's.
Nah, okay.
The description is from the description you get online is probably way better than mine, but that's like the gist of it.
Yeah.
But if you like something like Killer Kill, and Akama Kill. You said Akama Kill, didn't you?
Akama Kill.
Yeah, I've watched that. I thought you said Killer Kill. Yeah, I've watched Akama Kill.
Oh, right,
I was
right.
thinking about Killer Kill the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, Akama Kill. Yeah, but if you like Killer Kill and Gurren Lagann, I thought it was the same thing. Yeah, so if you like stuff like that, you should watch Fully Cooley. But Akama Kill was like, I finished that in like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Because it's like very,
breeze through it, yeah.
very, very binge worthy. That was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's when I watched it. It's just been taken down because I was looking for it to try and find the name. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So if like to get into anime again, Erased.
Yeah, Erased is a good one.
Erased would be very good to watch.
Would you say Soul Eater as a starter one as well?
I haven't watched it. Apparently the manga's way better, isn't it?
Yeah, the manga's better because the anime deviates from the manga. Because I've only watched the anime, and then I was meant to start. That's another manga that I need to read, like finish. Just because like the manga's different. Same thing with like obviously Fire Force as well.
I want to read all of that back to back just so you get like. But I feel like no, actually no. Do you know usually there's like they have the sequel then the prequel. Like they do the sequel first and the prequel, but you could read it as the prequel and the sequel, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to watch something like read all of that all the way through. Yeah.
Soul,
All the way through. Yeah. I can't think of any more manga recommendations.
Yeah, neither can I. I think I'm dry.
How about the one that you're still trying to convince me? Full Metal. Should I read that?
I haven't read that, but you should. You don't. Have you watched Full Metal Alchemist?
Nah, I still haven't.
You need to
That's
watch that.
that
I've
one's.
only watched Brotherhood.
I've watched both. I watched Brotherhood, but he didn't. He doesn't like. He thinks it's rubbish.
You watched
Listen, what I thought-
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
The thing is, I thought the same,
Yeah.
but then when I got into it, like I just have to keep watching it. Like
Just to keep watching it.
it picks up, like,
It's one of
and
the
it gets
best
and it
things.
gets really good. So, yeah.
I don't get how I can't pronounce it. Do you know the idol one that's going on?
Oh,
now?
Ashina Koi.
Ashino Koi.
Yeah.
I don't get how that's had a high rating
Yeah.
than Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't know. I think it's just because of like the story. Well, firstly, the opening is like I don't know why everyone else. I think
The opening is okay.
it's not like. I think it's just because like K-pop and like
Yeah, it's
and
okay.
J-pop. I
It's
think that's
okay.
why
It's
like, everyone likes
okay.
the opening, and I think the story was for me. I like it because of how it tackles the industry. And, like, it's a very much a realistic like depiction of what people like famous people like
Go
through, and like all the sort of like the dark side of Hollywood as you put in show business, which is pretty cool to have in this show. And the whole mystery of who the idol's boyfriend is,
and their dad.
Yeah, their dad.
I just feel like it was shock value.
Yeah,
Cause that I was literally screaming
Yeah.
at my computer watching it.
yeah,
I was like, what the hell?
yeah.
But
I could tell it was dark the minute they killed the well, it's not really spoilers, but yeah, the minute they killed the doctor, like.
yeah, that was yeah.
But as soon as he died, I was like,
And they still haven't found his body as
waiting
well.
for a ride, yeah.
Weird. Yeah. But man, I recommend it. Vagabond. I feel like
Yeah, so I've like had that recommended to me a few times, but I don't actually know like what the concept is behind that one.
So I'm gonna butcher the name. Have you heard of Miyamoto Mushi?
That's ringing a bell, but
Have you heard the book of the Five Rings?
yeah.
So the author is about the guy as a samurai. So it's literally a story about him and how he becomes undefeated. So
Oh.
all the trials and tribulations he went through and how he develops as a character. So like you just see, it's like similar to Vinland Saga. You see how he comes from like killing people to literally nurturing life. So it's like you just see that journey. It's like it's beautiful. So you will definitely enjoy it. And like the quotes that he drops is just crazy. So it's the same guy that made. Have you had a Slam Dunk?
Yeah.
It's the same guy that made
Oh,
and he
okay.
made something called Real, which is another basketball manga. That's for me, it's like a combination of like Vagabond and Slam Dunk come together. Like it's very like real in the stuff that the characters go through. So one of them is like, two of them is like a wheelchair basketball players, and then one is a like he's a dropout from school and then he was playing basketball and whatever. So it's like goes through their journey and how they deal with certain situations in life. So if you like stuff like that, you'll like that. So yeah.
No, those are interesting. I'm definitely adding those to the list. And then, what was the name of that third one you said as well? The one about the quarter life crisis.
Oh, Solanin.
Solanin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dom gets onto me all the time for liking that.
Oh, for real?
All the time for liking that one.
No, I get it though. I get like not I get it, but like now that you say it, like yeah, I can picture him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's it. So yeah, peace guys. Thanks for watching. What am I gonna forget? Like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go follow Darius as well because he's cool.
What else? TikTok, follow TikTok and follow the Instagram. I'm gonna do a Twitter soon as well, so follow all of that. And this
Is it going to be the same at?
Yeah. At the, why? See, always
Nakama podcast.
yeah, underscore Nakama podcast. I might not edit out.
Yeah, let me not incriminate myself. Proper like dance, a dance rap album, but it's more just like a rap album with like catching all the beats than like a. Yeah, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's not me. Sex any girl, man, that's not me. Lips any girl, yeah, that's not me. Yeah, I used to look like you, but I don't remember the rest of it. Yeah.
This is Ash. This is Joey.
Nice to meet you guys. It's Podgy. This video is sweaty.
Oh, let's put that in.
As I get here,
Oh, you have to do the message.
bro, there was a whole band in front of me with like a drum kit, cymbals, sticks, like 8 different bags. And I'm just standing there. Like, I got one backpack and they're just like,
Yeah, taking their time.
Did they do the whole thing as well?
all of it. I felt like I was in an airport.
Yeah.
Like,
What? Do you know what's happened?
I